Okay, greetings to anyone who's joined the live stream. This is just a very quick audio check. I'll be back in about 2 minutes to start the live stream properly. See you shortly. Okay, well, the timer's not properly counted down yet, but I might as well make a start now. This is a slightly out of the ordinary live stream for me. I never normally do them on Tuesday evening. It's always on a Sunday. So I'll be curious to know who turns up this evening. I am going to actually let people know on Twitter that we're here. How do we share? Let me see. No, that's not it. Bear with me, people. If anyone's in the live, if anyone wants to say hello in the live chat, always great to hear you. And if you wish to say hello in the actually come on the live stream, I will be showing a link where you can join StreamYard. You just have to allow access to your microphone and camera initially, but you switch that off because I will not be showing anyone. It's voice only this evening. Yeah, so please say hello if you feel like it. Hang on, bear with me. Let me just get a tweet out. Let people know that we are going live. Hope everyone's well. Right, open hour. Please bear with me while I just send this tweet. I'm live streaming and inviting guests on. Please join in. Please join if you can. If you're not following me on Twitter, the link is in the description to this video. I'm not massively active over on Twitter, but it is another place you can join me. At CC Jelly, hello, how are you? Thanks for joining us. Any of you who may have gone on YouTube Sunday evening wanting to catch up with me, I did put a restream on from a live stream I did back in 2017. And December 2017, basically, we did a review of the 1956 version of the film 1984. Something very poignant about that film. Now, a lot of people say it is a... Let me just check my audio. Sorry, one more time. Am I seriously on mute? Oh, my goodness. No? We still going? Oh. No, sorry, I'm being daft. Right. Okay. Yeah, right, back with it. Joanne Moore, greetings, thanks for joining us. As I said, live stream, this is what I call open hours. I used to do what I call open line live streams where I invited people to join. I kind of knocked them on the head a little bit as, most people, you tune into a YouTube video, not because you want to take part and speak to the host, but just because you want to listen. So I thought they weren't that active, but I thought just this evening, as it was a different night of the week, it was a Tuesday tonight, if anyone wants to join, here is the link. I'm putting it on the screen, and I'll also put a link in the live chat where you can go. Bear with me, where are we? There we go. It is tinyurl.com/BZ3108. That is B for Bobby, Z for Zines, and then today's date, 31st of the 8th. Yeah, I was talking about the live, the video I did on Sunday. It was a rerun of 1984 from 1956. And right at the end, there was a very poignant moment where it was like a narrator came on and said, This is our children's heritage of freedom or something. I thought that was quite an interesting word. We cannot allow our basically future generations' heritage of freedom to be eroded and to be taken over and to be living in literally a big brother state. And that things, unfortunately, with the world around us, how things are, seems to be getting closer and closer. Right. If anyone has any subjects they want us to look at this evening and think they want to cover, I mean, people are welcome to, like I say, come on and actually join in, say hello. You don't have to spend long online on the call. Just a quick hello is always appreciated. It's good to have a bit more interaction than you can get on a regular live chat. There was a story actually I did come across. We'll see if I can find it. One of those propaganda pieces that absolutely seems to be flooding the news at the minute. Where was it? Yeah, I will be sharing my screen in a minute. One thing I would like to do is just go on mute for 1 second, literally. Okay, there we go. Yeah, as I said, Wednesday evening, not my usual time for doing live streams. So, yeah, I'd be curious to know how many tune in this evening. Right, just leaving a comment, sharing a link again to the StreamYard page, where if anyone wishes to join the stream as a guest, just come on for a couple of minutes, say hello. You are most welcome. Anyone wishing to join the stream as a guest, please go to Control Paste. There we go. It's in the chat. Okay, I'm going to share my screen and we'll have a look at a particular story I came across. I actually thought it was typical mainstream media, as it were. Always there with your cheerful stories to cheer people up. Doesn't quite seem right to me. Pregnant woman with COVID gives birth to baby who died immediately. Now, this is one of those typical stories designed to put fear in anyone. This, basically, if you're an expectant mother, what do you think the takeaway is? And also, do you think there'll be any giveaways? Anyone looking at the screen now should be able to see a couple of pretty big giveaways already. A Missouri mom and registered nurse is urging pregnant women to get vaccinated against BS19 after losing her own baby due to the virus. 1,000,000% cannot. How they can make that claim, I don't know. But the only reason she lost her child was because of the virus. Anyway, she didn't miss a chance to turn it into. She didn't miss a chance to turn it into a political, an advert basically. Turn it into an advert. And I've said a few times, you listen to celebrities, they come on and they say, like David Beckham, for example, or who else? Who knows who else? Make sure you get your vaccinated. Why would anyone take medical advice from David Beckham or even from Boris Johnson? Who cares? But this person, they've managed to get a nurse. Vanessa Alferman, 33, of course they get that number in, was 22 weeks pregnant last November. They've got two code numbers in the second paragraph. 22 weeks pregnant last November when she and her husband both contracted BS19. But while her symptoms were otherwise mild, they did cause a dangerous placental abruption that sent her into early labor. How do they know that was caused by the BS virus, eh? She soon gave birth to a baby boy named Axel, who at 18 weeks premature died almost immediately. Like I said, this is a story designed to depress anyone that reads it, especially those that take it seriously. But hey ho, that seems to be something very common. Anyway, a registered nurse at Missouri Baptist, Sullivan, has a son and stepdaughter who was excitedly awaiting the arrival of another child last week when she tested positive for the virus. Well, there's her mistake. If she hadn't tested positive, she never would have known about it. Wouldn't have gone into hospital. The hospital wouldn't have got their hands on her, etc., etc. And of course, they go on Good Morning America to tell their story. Good Morning America, for those of us in the United Kingdom, it's got to be a carbon copy of Good Morning Britain, which is, well, propaganda from start to finish. And she goes on to say she never had shortness of breath. She didn't have particularly, basically saying, no matter how mild you think your cold is, you need to be living in fear, basically. And yeah, just typical propaganda. You never have to look far, actually. I could click new tab. I'm sure some will pop up within seconds. Where are they? Is Duchess Catherine sending Prince George to her old school? Oh, Jake Quickenden. Like I said, tonight is open hour, meaning I basically haven't planned anything. I don't have anything specific to talk about. I usually like to take suggestions from the live chat. If anyone wants to pop on and say hello, let us know you're watching. It's always good to catch up with you. Jake Quickenden reveals trolls told him to drown his baby son Leo. This is such an old story. I don't know why they keep coming back to it. Jake Quickenden appeared on daytime show Good Morning Britain to discuss the overwhelming online abuse. Do you think now bear in mind, this guy's on his Instagram, Twitter account, Mudlark Digging Up the Thames, greetings and thank you for joining us. Always good to have long-term viewer Mudlark tuning in. Yeah, so Jake goes on about the trolls basically targeting him. I don't know if we're going to see a video of him talking. Of course, they've taken some images from his Instagram page. Do you think they mentioned me saying about him being CGI? It's just the world we're in at the moment, and if you're going to put yourself out there, you're going to get trolled, he said. I can't get my head around it myself. When questioned by host Charlotte Hawkins as to why online abusers would want to harm a baby, it's not a baby. Jake added, the way I look at things, I say they must be going through really hard times. So rather than feel sorry for myself, I actually felt really sorry for them and that they're all right, because who would do that? That doesn't make sense. I actually felt really sorry for them and that they're all right, because who would do that? What does that mean? Yeah, typical CGI, of course. I did, of course, a couple of weeks back, I previewed a short video I put up where I showed every video they put up of this baby. Well, not necessarily everyone. Yeah, I would say pretty much every video they've put of this baby will show some signs that it's CGI. The 32-year-old went on to reveal the most horrific comments directed towards his son. The worst thing they said was, drown him, you should have drowned him. See, keeping a surprisingly composed demeanour considering the topic of conversation, basically he didn't care is what they're saying. Jake explained how he deals with such awful commentary. I usually swear, but I can't say what I say on here, he said. I think at the beginning it really got to me, but the more I sat back and thought, there must be something going on here that's deeper issues. You just kind of have to brush it off and move forward. And that's what I always do. Yeah, complete fake made-up couple, if you ask me. After welcoming his son, with fiancée Sophie Church in February this year. The former X Factor star faced hurtful tweets from the deactivated account titled Jake Quickendon's baby is ugly. Harsh. The account wished death upon his son because of his looks, leaving the new parent Jake understandably furious. He retweeted the vile message, hoping for the account to be removed, asking the police for help taking it down. Jake's 950,000 followers pushed his post in an attempt to resolve the situation. Thanks, guys, he said in response. You know what I can take some test. See, I can't understand a word this guy says. You know what? I can take some test giving me spit, but there's a line you don't cross. Do you know, I do have a feeling that half of this stuff, half the trolling, just like everything with this baby. Look at that fake baby. Yeah, right. Just like the Robin Max, greetings and welcome to the live stream. You've missed the last couple of live streams, never mind. They're all available out there for anyone who wants to catch them. Tonight's one is slightly different in that I am inviting anyone who wants to come on and say hello to join the stream. The link is not only at the bottom of the bottom of the screen, tinyurl.com/BZ3108. I've also put a link in the live chat, so you do have to go onto StreamYard and allow access to your camera and your microphone, but anyone who joins, I will not be sharing their microphone. I mean their camera, sorry, I will be sharing my microphone. Anyway, yeah, like I was saying about Jake, I believe that a lot of this trolling that he got was deliberate, was controlled, and that is so when real people, like basically they stir up hate among his, see, I'm guessing he has got real fans, although I believe a lot of the ones that targeted me were bots, basically. I have seen some amazing pictures on Twitter of like people in China normally, and they're controlling about 100 different iPhones and using one keyboard. They're sending messages to probably 100 different social media accounts in one go. And it's also how channels prop up their views. For example, if you've got a video up on YouTube, you've got a channel, you want to up the numbers, you can literally buy views. And the way they do that is people sit in these rooms with 100 different iPhones all connected to one computer, and then it's programmed to watch the videos all in one go. And then they sign out of one account, sign into another. Yeah, it's pretty interesting. Robbo says, I've just watched a 1.5 hour documentary on BBC One called 9/11, The President's War Room. It was like watching a couple of episodes of the old sitcom Soap. I've never seen that, but comedy and bad acting together. Yeah, we had EastEnders on earlier, and I could hear it being played in the basically I could hear it come on, and it sounded awful. It was like a blow-by-blow account, the official narrative, if ever you wanted one, of everything the president was doing, what mood he was in, what he was wearing, it's just unrealistic account of things. But yeah, of course, the nearer we get to the 11th of September, the 11th, these stories are going to come up more and more. No doubt. Do you know what? I do remember actually back when, probably a few years after 9/11 happened, I was watching a documentary, and it was about the heroes of 9/11. It was about the firemen that went into to the towers as they were about to fall down. And it was an interview with a fireman, and he told a really heartbreaking sort of, it basically gets you involved on an emotional level so that you feel part of it. Because, yeah, they do literally tell the story that the firemen on that day were heroes. I'm not saying firemen are not generally, brave people, but, oh, that's a tranny, isn't it? But, yeah, the story they told was about an these firemen, and they came across a particularly overweight woman who everyone was just barging past, and they were like, no, we can't leave this person. Anyway, they decided to help her, even though they knew one building had already collapsed, the other one was about to come down, and they said they just had to help her, whatever it meant. Anyway, the building collapsed, and they were very fortunate in that the floor they were on happened to get caught between rubble or something, and they walked out alive, whereas if they'd carried on running, they would have been killed. That was the story they told us. Yeah, we seem to still be going. Apologies for that short break. And Mudlight said, yeah, we're approaching the 20th anniversary, of course. I would be curious to know what you guys think of the happenings on that day. I remember, yeah, back then my TV had broken about a couple of months before, or a month before or so, and I basically left it. I thought I didn't need a TV. So I never actually saw 9/11 happen until I think it was New Year, and I saw it on a catch-up program about, what 20. Sorry, what was it? 90. No, it was 2002, 2001 in review, and it was like a good few months after, and everyone else had seen it, but because I hadn't had a TV, and this was before the days where everyone had the internet or able to watch videos on Twitter and stuff. I had no way to sort of see what was going on. But a friend of mine did say that his actual words, now he wasn't a conspiracy theorist by any means, but he said, oh, Robbo says the audio's gone. How's it now? I remember. Yeah, we're back. Yeah, apologies, Robbo. We did have a bit of a break in transmission there. I think my connection dropped out. Excuse me. Yeah, a friend of mine, he said that it was like watching a movie, just watching a movie of planes crashing in. Almost like, he said it was very surreal. He didn't believe it. And hey, what do you know? So yeah, as I say, I would be curious to know what you guys made of those events back then. And okay, I'll have a quick look at the chat. Oh yeah, Robin's just confirming it's back. Glad to hear it. Yes, as I have said a couple of times this evening, I do not have any particular subjects to cover this evening. So if anyone has anything they want us to look at, I'll tell you one thing I have seen absolutely ridiculous. I'm not sure if it's just on the local news or what, but we did look at this story already about pregnant woman with COVID gives birth to baby who died immediately. How's that for a jolting headline? Get your vax, people. You don't want to end up like this woman that can't stop smiling. But of course, they always give themselves away with the numbers. Anyway, yeah, if I put in, not llama, alpaca. I don't know if any of you have come across this story about Geronimo the alpaca. Now, bear in mind, on farms in countries up and down the country, thousands, maybe even millions of animals are killed every single day. Why have they been going on for the last probably month talking about one single alpaca? Yeah, Mudlark, surreal is synonymous with BS. You're absolutely correct. As I said, I don't think he necessarily was saying it he didn't believe it happened. He just said that the video of it when he saw it was just like watching a film. 2001 CGI probably. Well, we could watch it tonight, but we'd probably get the stream shut down. Yeah, this is another story. I visited my mum today, and she always has the news playing, and I've told her it's just depressing and I don't like it, but she can't help herself. She's got to find out what's going on in the news, or she feels she's missing out. The owner of Geronimo the alpaca has called for the environmental secretary to resign, accusing him of murdering an innocent animal days before a warrant for the animal's destruction was due to expire. The interesting thing I did see about this, though, is that people were talking in this about false positives, and it just seems very apt. Geronimo, who had twice tested positive for bovine tuberculosis, was tied with white rope before being scanned for a microchip and pulled through a field to a white. Okay, yeah, people were being interviewed saying that. Also, DEFRA, or did he say? Basically saying that they didn't trust this government agency not to plant TB on this animal, just to. Yeah, it was very unusual, the very sort of thing you would expect people to be saying about BS19, not on the news, obviously, but yeah, it would be. It was out there. Mudlark, they're not going to kill it. They've killed it, I'm afraid. Yeah, I think they killed it the other day. But as I said, how many animals in this country are killed on a daily basis? Why is this one alpaca of, more relevance than any other creature? Being a vegetarian, I generally try not to. Yeah, I respect people if they wish to eat meat. Fair enough, it's down to them. But no, for me, I do not like the idea of intensive farming. But yeah, here we are. They all care about this alpaca, but what about the thousands of pigs and chickens and turkeys and other animals that are intensely farmed to the point where they have no proper life, miserable existence from start to finish, just so they can end up on someone's dinner plate for as cheap as possible. Robert Max, I've not heard about Geronimo. If this is a headline news, then it sums up the mainstream media and why no one should watch the news. My friend, it is not only headline news, it's been headline news for about the past month, I think. It has been going on for a long time, this fight to save the alpaca. You want to hear this guy talking? You'll have to listen through my speakers, I'm afraid. Hang on. 33-second video clip, of course. I'm not sure what the audio will sound like, though. Oh, sorry, this is about a completely different story. And obviously the audio is terrible. So my apologies for that. Okay, yeah. The Taliban, of course, still dominating the headlines, keeping BS19 off the front page. As I said, if there are any stories anyone thinks are worth looking at, then by all means, let us know. Vernon K gives health update, missing out due to, BS19, of course. Who cares? What's the bet? And he tells us all to get vaccinated. Right. Vernon Kay has given an update on his health after pulling out of This Morning presenting debut after testing positive for bullshit 19. The 47-year-old was due to join Rochelle Humas, 32. They love their numbers, don't they? as she wraps up summer before Holly and Philip return. But just one day before he was set to join, Vernon announced he tested positive. Why were you stupid enough to take a test, you moron? I bet he's absolutely fine. I bet he said, I feel absolutely fine, nothing wrong with me, but I was stupid enough to take a test, so have some of that. Right. And of course, they publicised his social media account. He wrote to his 1.1 million viewers. Again, get that number in. Missing out on this morning debut today because of, no, not because of COVID, but because you took a test and decided to believe the results. I was up for a bit of fashion and cooking. See, who cares anymore? People, I don't know. I don't understand why anyone would willingly take a test. But hey ho, bear with me. Right. Mudlark says, did you hear about the Taliban invading a TV studio live broadcast? No, I didn't, Mudlark. We'll have a look at that shortly. And was that in this country or somewhere else? Robbo says, more distraction. People get upset by one animal getting put down, and whilst this is sad for the owner, the masses seem quite happy that thousands are dying from the Vaseline. Exactly. They're particularly happy when, oh, what they've done, when the person who dies hasn't, or is an anti-vaxxer, for example, then that really makes their day. Sorry guys, I'm just going to have to mute for all of 30 seconds. Bear with me. Okay, I am back. Right, so the Taliban. Okay, thanks. Well, we'll have a look at that. Let's search Taliban. What comes up? Taliban TV station. Shocking moment. Taliban militants stormed Kabul TV station to demand anchor praise Afghan terror group. What a joke. I mean, just looking at this, does that look CGI to you? Is that really the best picture quality Afghanistan can manage on television? No, I've not heard about this story, so we'll go to the Scum newspaper. Do you know they claim the way that the Taliban managed to basically arm themselves was by just picking up weapons that other people had left behind? Bear in mind how much a submachine gun costs, how much a tank costs, how much all these weapons cost. Bear in mind they had the equipment that took down an aeroplane, apparently, all left behind by previous people. Not to worry, Robbo, I know what you mean. I understood what you meant about they're not concerned people dying of course. But I believe they've come to love those numbers. All people seem to be concerned about, some of them, is, oh, that could be me. That could be me. Therefore, everyone else has to go and get themselves injected, has to wear a mask, has to stay at home, stop seeing loved ones, all because it could be me. Ridiculous. Right. This is a shocking moment. Taliban militants appeared. What? Why are they using that word? Appeared. Just like I believe it was Robbo said, surreal is synonymous for bullshit. Appeared is also synonymous for not actually, but looked like it. They appeared to storm a Kabul TV station to demand the news anchor praise the Afghan terror group. Appeared to. The Sun have to include that word. Hang on 1 second, just so everyone can properly. Sorry, guys. Just want to bring this down a little bit. So anyone watching can clearly see the link they can go to if they wish to join the live stream as a guest. I would love to say hello to anyone that wants to come on, share their thoughts. Just say hello, let us know how you're doing. Yeah, it would be great to hear from any of you. Footage of the Sunday incident, which was shared on Twitter and swiftly amassed over 1 million views, showed an Afghan TV anchor with gun-toting Taliban members alongside him. Why does it look so fake? And why has that guy got a lazy eye? Blinded in the right eye, of course. That's how it looks. My goodness. Afghan television companies need to invest in some HD cameras. The video was recorded at the Afghan TV network, Peace Studio, is appropriate, and comes just weeks after the United States abruptly withdrew from Afghanistan, allowing the Taliban to regain power nearly 20 years after the US came into the country in the wake of 9/11. Of course, the Taliban had nothing to do with 9/11. Did they? Who knows? Well, no. I mean, even if you believe the official narrative, I don't think the Taliban had anything to do with it, but whatever. BBC's Yalda Hakim tweeted a video clip of the news report on Sunday afternoon and wrote, Afghanistan TV, surreal. What do we know, Robbo? There's that word again. Surreal. Yes, it is. Basically, not quite real. This is what political debate now looks like on Afghan TV. Taliban foot soldiers watching over the hosts. The presenter talks about the collapse of the Ghani government and says the Islamic Emirates says the Afghan people should not be afraid. The thing is, let's say this is real, okay, and the Taliban are really bursting through doors and demanding the hosts say how great the Taliban are. At least they're being honest about it. At least they're not pretending that they are in, hey, this is a democracy. We all get a right to, we can all choose our leaders. What, like vote the Queen in? No, you can't vote the Queen in, but there's still a democracy. And what's the freedom of speech? Well, yes, so long as you agree with Wikipedia. It's crazy. Robbo says the BBC and all other mainstream media outlets in the UK must have been stormed since they all praise and lick the ass of the government. Exactly. Could not agree more. We will watch the video clip in a minute. Kian Sharifi, a BBC monitoring journalist fluent in the Dari dialect of Persian, said the show is a political debate program called Pardaz, and that the anchor was forced to say the Islamic Emirate, the Taliban's preferred name, wants the public to cooperate with it and should not be afraid. During the 42-second clip, is that one of their numbers again? It seemed as if the news presenter was being stared down by two militants standing on each side of him. The Taliban militants reportedly stormed the TV station and urged the anchor to talk with them. The US officials said the terrorist suicide squad, said a terrorist suicide squad on its way to carry out a second attack on the Kabul airport was wiped out in a drone strike. Yeah, right. However, it was not clear when the footage was filmed. Of what, the drone strike? Have we got that one? Okay, let's see. Let's see it.
بر شما بیننده‌های شبکه جهانی افغانستان و ویژه برنامه پرداز باز هم شما را خوش آمدید میگویم. میربایس حیدری
Would you say this guy could almost just be carrying on and these guys are not even there? He has not acknowledged them at all. Where's this bit when they come on and say, you've got to start saying how peaceful we are? Is he going to acknowledge them?
آقای غنیم از افغانستان فرار کرده و در افغانستان عده‌ای که منتقد اشرف غنی هستند میگویند که
Okay, we're 25 seconds into a 42-second clip and that host has not uttered a single word to either of these men stood there with their guns that were left behind by the previous army. Oh, there's a whole bunch of them. A whole bunch of them. There's the presenter there, by the way.
خودشان رفتن و حالا امارت اسلامی برگشتن و امارت اسلامی را مجاهدینش هم تلاش میکنند که در افغانستان باید صلح و ثبات ایجاد شود و یگانه خواستشان از مردم این است که با امارت اسلامی باید
No, nothing. Could have been, they easily could have faked that footage. And that is why the Scum newspaper, hedged their bet and said appeared to storm a Kabul TV station. But we didn't see any of that. We didn't see the good stuff. Instead, they just showed this guy with a red tie yakking away and never acknowledged his, the people that had come on. Yeah, Robert, absolutely, utter pish. Crazy Hippo Lady, greeting. Thanks for joining us. Hi, everyone. Geronimo's skull is the 322 Skull and Bones. Have they have they revealed the skull? I haven't seen that one yet. Yeah, that is complete BS. I mean, no wonder the image, the picture quality is so poor. Because it's CGI, just like everything that they put on the news, all done in front of green screens so they can superimpose whatever background they want in. And that is why it looks so unrealistic. I mean, for example, this guy's bathed in light. Yeah, that is blatantly rubbish. Yeah, Crazy Hippo Lady, I don't disagree with you that Geronimo's skull is the 322 Skull and Bones, but do we have a skull yet? I wonder if anyone replied to this tweet saying that it looks fake. This is what Elia Troz can't accept. If so, we will stop our work. I'm not sure what that's got to do with anything. Oh, hang on. As the anchor was seen alongside 8 Taliban militants inside the newsroom, the publisher of the Etilitros and Kabul Now, Zaki Daryabi, took to Twitter to say, "This is what Elia cannot accept. If so, we'll stop our work." Got it. That looks marginally more realistic, but still highly fake. See, if we were to put that into something like graphic image manipulation, I mean, could we find much out? Crazy Hippo, Geronimo the Apache, the alpaca. Yes, I'm with you. We did look at the story of the alpaca earlier, but I haven't seen anything about its skull. Where was it? We will have another look. Yeah, it took place in Gloucester, on a farm in Gloucester, which is actually quite local to me. Well, 20-minute, hour-long drive. But I have not seen any images of the skull. Crazy Hippo Lady. That is why I'm a little unsure. But I did see. I did see a story where someone earlier on was being interviewed, and they were saying about how little they trust the. I'm pretty sure they called it something like DELFA or DERFA. I guess it's some environmental agency, and they were saying that they would not be. They had so little trust in this government agency that they wouldn't. That they believed that the alpaca was probably. They probably planted TB on it just to give them an excuse to kill it. But thanks for sharing, Crazy Hippo Lady. Much appreciated. Right. If anyone would like to... Oh, Mudlight says it looks like man's version of Jeremy Kyle. Yeah, you're not wrong, actually. Although at least Jeremy Kyle does... Oh, what's this? At least Jeremy Kyle acknowledges his guests. This guy, as we just saw in the video, didn't bat an eyelid that there were a load of people in his in the place. Right, any other blatantly BS stories? Sharon Stone announces her baby nephew has died days before his first birthday. What do you reckon the cause is? How did No. All right. Okay. What do you reckon? BS19? Oh no, total organ failure. Obviously a horrible story. I'd never make light of a baby dying. But as we saw earlier, I'm not sure if I kept it up, that story about the mother who gave birth to a and they just blamed BS19 for it, but I don't know if that is anything to do with this one. Had this happened like a year ago, I'm sure they would have included it on there. Robbo says, I wouldn't put it past the mainstream media to have a story in the next few days that somebody has been infected by Geronimo. Probably. Well, that story's been going so long now. What might happen is they end up eating the meat of it and catching TB. Yeah, you could be right. I'm not sure, but this isn't a recent story. Like I said, I visited my dear old mother this evening, and she had some news on. And I think I visit her about once a week. So for the last 3 weeks, I've been going up there, and I've been seeing this story about the alpaca. And it's like one alpaca, and they're given that much that much story time to it. It was just a story that, and as we rightly said this evening, millions of animals every day get killed. Why are they so fussed about one alpaca? Okay. CDC effectiveness of vaccines against hospitalization has waned. What does that mean exactly? Does it mean that your vaccine will not stop you going to hospital? I just would like to let's read this. BS19 vaccines have lost some of their effectiveness in preventing hospitalization. Well, how did you know they prevented it in the first place? Data from the US Centers for Disease Control and Prevention shows vaccine effectiveness in preventing hospital. Right, who are they going to blame for this? Is it going to be those that haven't had it? Vaccination effectiveness in preventing hospitalization has fallen as low as 75% from a high of 95% that was first touted when the shots became available in late 2020. I don't remember who made the point, but someone said it. They said, isn't it interesting, back last summer, when we didn't have a vaccine, we didn't have any variants. I think the numbers have gone really low by this point in the year. And this was all without vaccine. A year later, they've given us this. They've given us a product, and all of a sudden they want everyone to buy into this. Buy into the idea of variants. It's ridiculous. They've got a lot of people believing that without this one product or product from a few different manufacturers, the human race would basically die out. I think that's what they're trying to tell us. Personally, I'm not convinced. I will never believe a pharmaceutical company has my best interest at heart. Mudlight says a new alpaca strain of corona. Robbo, or maybe a novel strain that jumps from alpacas to humans. That would be the only way it would ever hit the news. People aged 75 and up are at the highest risk group. Well, what a surprise. People aged over 75 are at high risk of getting ill and dying. Never would have thought that possible. It remains unclear whether this is because the protection offered by vaccine declines over time, or if the Delta variant has managed to overcome shots aimed at preventing it. Bullshit. I mean, they brought the vaccine out before they even knew about Delta, so... CC Jelly says, we demand booster shots to keep us safe. Yes, we do. That's the only way we're ever going to feel safe. So, yeah, we want those boosters right away. And in fact, anyone that doesn't want one, don't let them get a job, don't let them visit family, don't let them use public transport, don't let them receive benefits, deny them hospital treatment, all because they won't buy that, or they won't buy into the product. Yeah, I guess this story is pretty much trying to sell that point that we need boosters. Of course it is. Where were we? Sorry. The CDC. Previous research, which was cited by the CDC in its decisions to roll out boosters, there we go, from the Mayo Clinic, finds that the current crop of vaccines is less effective against the variants. Of course, they will never give you proof of a variant. I mean, if we do a search now for Delta variant, look on images, what are we going to see? Will it be CGI pictures? Delta variant. Let's see, I'm guessing it's going to be it'll either be pictures of nurses sticking syringes in people, or it'll be a CGI image. Yeah, what do you know? CGI image. I mean, I don't know about all these, but yeah, this is how they sold BS19 to everyone. This is, of course, the variant because it's a slightly darker shade of red. Of course, the original BS19 was much brighter coloured. And that is how they sold us BS19, hey? Robbo says, follow the new science, which is any baseless hypothesis spouted by an expert who ignores all the established principles of the scientific method. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Show us any science to prove that, to prove anything, really, about this. But the thing is, people, the masses, they don't want to hear this. All they want to know is how likely are they to get ill? How likely is it that one of their friends might be ill? And how long should they stay at home and hide away? That's all most people seem to care about. Actual truth, actual evidence, they're not interested in. Robbo asks, how long was I planning to go this evening? It was going to be an hour. I mean, yeah, about an hour pretty much, which means we're getting close to winding down. Unless, Robbo, you can say anything unless, you're wanting to come on as a guest or something, I'll keep the show going for a little bit if you do. Same goes to anyone else that wishes to tune in. I mean, wishes to come on. You've got a few minutes to join us. No pressure, I understand. Not everyone, I mean, most people don't tune into a YouTube video to help the host run their live stream. So, right, I always do find, I don't know if any of you use the Microsoft Edge web browser, the new tab is a great place for finding basically blatantly fake news stories. And because I've spent a lot of time searching for like babies, I seem to get dished up a lot of stories about celebrity babies, meaning, yeah, there's always someone. Yeah, YouTuber Zoella welcomes her first baby and shares daughter's unusual name. Right, if the Evening Standard are reporting about a YouTuber having a baby, then I'm going to say it's all part of it. Robbo says, you're happy to come on for a wee bit, but I don't want to spoil your show for your guests that want to listen to you. Robbo, honestly, the whole point of this evening is for people to come on. Yeah, you're most welcome, Robbo. Yeah, by all means, jump on. I don't think I've never spoke to you before, so it would be good to have you on. Believe me, you wouldn't be spoiling anything. I was going to start winding down shortly, so yeah, I'm always happy. If you're not familiar with StreamYard, JT33, greetings, welcome to the live chat. Don't you know viruses are made of CGI? Do you know what, JT? It kind of seems that way. Yeah, sorry, just going back, if anyone isn't familiar with StreamYard, when you go on, you do have to allow access. Basically, you don't have to download anything. Come in through the web browser and just, you do have to allow access to your camera and mic. However, I strongly recommend switching your camera off before entering. You set your username, you can upload an avatar if you wish, and yeah, then enter. I do have to keep checking though, or else I won't know anyone's there. But yeah, I mean, no one has to feel they have to. No biggie, but it would be nice to have a bit of interaction. Right. Why are the Evening Standard reporting about a YouTuber having a baby? Is this how urgent they are for stories now? Back to JT33's comment. Yeah, absolutely. Cannot argue with that, the way things have gone over the last couple of months. I mean, couple of years even. It's interesting that most of us, I mean, all of us have got ill. We've all been ill at one point or another. We've probably all gone to a doctor, and when they've told us, oh, have you been around any other sick people? Yeah, perhaps you do. Perhaps you would think, oh yeah, someone else got sick at the same time. But oh, I see. Robbo has joined. I will try and join you to the stream once. So actually, give us literally 30 seconds, and I'll be back. Okay, apologies for that. Right. Okay, Robert, I will try and add you, although it says device not connected. So let's see. They will need to connect their mic and camera before you can add them. Robbo, you need to switch on your microphone, apparently. It's the controls are at the bottom if you're not familiar. And then I can add you to the live stream whenever you're ready. Robbo is, of course, a legendary YouTuber. I would call him that. I consider him legendary. He's been going a lot longer than I have. I'll check that you're not going to come booming out. Yeah. One of the reasons I stopped doing open lines is because StreamYard is a bit of a pain. Ooh. Kick from studio. I'm not kicking anyone from studio. I hope I didn't kick there. Yeah. StreamYard is great if you want to have guests on, but let's say, for example, I want to share a video. It is terrible. And right. I am, hang on, bear with me a minute. I see a private message and I don't know what it's going to say. So I'm just going to hide my screen for a second while I look at it. I can't unmute mic. Sorry to reveal that private message. Okay. Yeah, I mean, like now, for example, would be a good time for me to share a video. I mean, I've probably got something. And the problem with StreamYard is It is awful. I'm looking at the videos I've got saved. The World Play featuring Overthought, of course, by JT33. Another great YouTuber. I can see our Robbo is trying to join us, but unfortunately doesn't seem to be allowing your audio. What I would say, Robbo, is depending on what device you're on, you may have to allow your web browser to have access to your microphone and camera. Obviously, you're not going to be expected to share your camera. That's a shame, Robbo. I would very much have enjoyed to. It would be really good to have had a chat with you. I was thinking actually of doing these open lines on Skype, perhaps one day. That would be I don't know if Skype's good for you. But Robbo, I appreciate you, having a go, trying to come on. If anyone else wishes to, come on, I'll probably be going for about another 10 minutes or so. I do have to be careful. I'd say I'm going to go for an hour, and then I end up going for it drags on if I'm not careful. Yeah, that's a shame. Robert, what I would say, if you want, I'm not sure if maybe, I know you can, it works on a mobile, a smartphone if you've got a web browser on your phone. It doesn't have to be a computer, I know that much. So, yeah, it would have. Yeah, as I said, I am on Skype actually. If anyone wishes to, join in by that, chat to me over on Skype. Let's see if we can get Robbo to join before I close up for the night. Okay, Robbo wants to try and Skype it. Let me see. I'm not sure if I've got Skype set up or how it would work on here. What's that? Meet now. That isn't Skype. Yes, we will have. We will get going shortly. Apologies if anyone's listening to this. We'll try and get Robbo on Skype if possible. Thanks for the patience for anyone who's tuned in. and is watching this. Oh, I think we may have connection. Yes, I've got your message. Okay, to be honest, I don't know how the audio will come across. That's the only thing, Robbo. But you are certainly welcome to try. Okay, this will be interesting. Bit of an experiment here. Hi, Robbo. Oh. Hey. Yeah, you okay?
Yeah, I'm doing fine now.
Good. Yeah, thanks for making contact. I'm hoping that you can actually be heard on the. I'm just going to see make sure we can hear you. All right.
Yeah, what is?
Hang on. Yeah, it's a bit of a delay. Right. I'm doing. Yeah, sorry, Robert. Can you say something? I'll make sure we can hear you.
Yeah, it's a long time. It's like I know you. It's the first time I've actually spoken to you. Known you for years.
Yeah, you're a bit faint, Robbo, but yeah, we can just about catch you because I think it's got to play through my audio. I play through my microphone. Sorry, speakers and gets picked up by the audio. But yeah, we can hear you. So yeah, it's probably like 2017 when I think I first came across you on YouTube.
Yeah, I came across you because you interviewed Avalon.
That's right. Yeah, well remembered.
You did a live show with them, Avalon, and I can't mind who it was.
Great,
Amazing Grace.
Amazing Grace. Yeah, that's.
Right.
She wasn't called that back then, but she is now. Yeah.
Yeah, that's the way I came across you, and I've watched all your stuff since.
Oh, that's kind. Yeah, I believe I first came across your name. You've been on live streams with PK and stuff, haven't you?
I have. I've done a few with him, and him and Smoking Mirrors I did a few with, so that was where I put my head above the parapet.
Okay.
Just to say.
And that goes back to what, 2016, 17?
2017, 2016, yeah, 2017 is when I put my head out, started doing, well, I started doing videos with Smoking Mirrors, because I can't make videos, but he can make videos, so I used to do the scripts and he made the videos, so that's how we collaborated. We started doing stuff on Buck Street in Melbourne.
That's right. Is he still around these days, or?
Yeah, I still speak to him now and again. He moved out of state, then moved back in again, kind of disappeared off the radar for a while. But yeah, I've spoken to him about last week or something like that. So,
is he making videos?
He's still making videos. The last video he made actually was a wee tribute for Avalon, which he did in the day we found out he died. Like that was he got that together for me.
Okay, yeah, that was that. I did hear about that as well. Yeah, I mean, I only ever had I didn't have a huge amount of contact with Avalon, but I did enjoy a lot of the stuff he made, and yeah, it was good to have a bit of contact with him. Yeah, there's I won't go into that actually. I'm talking about a not Twitch. What is it? Discord server, isn't there? But anyway, I won't. Yeah, I won't go into that. In case people want to keep their privacy. I was trying to think. The guy you said, Smoking Mirrors, he used to do a lot of music videos as well, didn't he?
Not so much. He music, not sure.
Yeah.
Depends how sober he was at the time, possibly.
I mean, it wasn't his music, but he would put music to like some videos.
Music. He always. That was one of the things with the videos. He always chose bits of music which were kind of apt to what we were talking about, or whether it was the band name or the song, just to try and like a subliminal message with the video.
Yeah, and you would and you, like you said, you would write the script for it, would you? For some of them.
Yeah, I used to send them all the different scenes and what was going on the screen and
Yeah.
what was being shown and stuff like that, and he'd pull it together because he's a whiz on the video making, whereas I don't have a clue what to do.
Okay, I gotcha. How are things like in your part of the world? Are they?
No, I don't know. I don't know what's going on in terms of what's meant to be happening in terms of rules and shit like that. Just ignore it.
No, of course that's. But
trying to just ignore it.
I was going to say you're able to walk out without someone. You're able to go outside without someone like giving you a funny look for not having something on your face. Yeah.
Nobody says anything to me.
No.
I don't abide.
Yeah. No, I did. Probably over like for all the months that people were expected to wear them, I think I maybe only had one person. Oh no, actually a couple of people question me about it, and this is like members of the public who had no right to ask them. Both times I just ignore them. I wouldn't even. I did. I'm not going to justify myself to some random person in the street while I'm not putting a mask on. But.
Well, what I've noticed lately, some of the like the diehards, as I would call them, who muzzle up all the time, they're actually making. Oh, fuck, this is a pain in the arse. This is a waste of time. It's even dawning on them.
They're even saying
that it's still making sense, like,
Yeah. Yeah, I know what you mean about diehards. I've got, there's some in my family, one particular who is really committed to keeping his mask on. I wonder if he does it partly to wind me up because he knows how opposed I am to it all, but I never rise to the bait, Do you think it's on its way out, or if you don't mind me asking?
It's hard to tell. I think we're in a bit of a lull at the moment. I think it's all want to be like the ramp it up. People kind of get half resist it, then get used to it. The ramp it down a wee bit, and then when the ramp up again, it'll be ramped up higher than it was before. So I think we're just in a bit of a lull at the moment, and there'll be more to come soon.
Yeah.
I see it.
Yeah, that's it. I mean, personally, I wonder if people would accept another like lockdown, as it were. But of course they would. There are very few people are like willing to kind of go against what they hear on TV. Unfortunately, aren't they?
Well, I had it on the radio. Was it Monday? Monday I was in the car. Sunday, I can't remember, Sunday or Monday, when they were saying that the number of cases in Scotland is the highest ever been in Britain, and then they're saying even though we said we wouldn't reverse them, we've always got to look at our plans and maybe on a circuit break and all this sort of shite, like
Yeah.
But I don't know if you probably don't see him, but we've got some prick up here, Jason Leach.
Right.
He's what is he now? The clinical director of fucking health, public health or something like that.
Okay.
He's a fucking dentist.
Not.
Dentist, right?
He's a dentist, right?
He's just a Glasgow shouty boy, like.
Okay.
Assertive and loud the way he speaks, but it's just in garbage. It was quite funny. I found a video of his on Channel 4 from March 2020, and it's actually worth watching because all the stuff he says, he says, "Well, I'm asymptomatic. I've got to see my parents. People should still be able to do that. And, you don't be isolated and all this sort of stuff." Back in March 2020. So it's quite revealing what they were saying back then. When you go back and look at the old videos of the fish they were saying then, and now you see what's happening nowadays.
Yeah.
It's completely opposite to what they were saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, you had people saying, I'm not sure if it was Chris Whitty, but saying things like wearing masks won't ever, wouldn't make any difference and stuff, wouldn't they?
Oh, well, Boris interviews, I think the kid's what her name is. She's the deputy, I don't know what the term is in England, deputy medical officer for England, chief medical officer. And
so Chris Whitty's deputy.
Street, she says wearing masks is a bad thing. I remember seeing that at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard it before. It's insane, isn't it?
I mean, the whole thing with this thing, what I just don't understand, what people don't get, and I said from day one, I remember, mind you got a letter from Boris with a fucking leaflet,
right?
Back in March last year, and it was all about what you do is you stay at home and all this sort of shit.
Yeah.
This is the most deadly disease, right? If you've got toothache, what do? You go to the dentist to get treated. You don't stay at home for 2 weeks, because if you stay at home for 2 weeks, it'll get worse, you'll get an infection, that infection will spread elsewhere in your body.
Yeah.
So you've got to treat something, you treat it as early as possible. That's what you do for any ailment. And this is the only disease in the world which is made out to be the most fucking deadly thing. And what do they tell you to do? Well, just stay at home.
Yes.
Stay at home and stay at home and do nothing. And how people cannot get that through their heads, that it's the most stupid thing to tell somebody to do, that you've got what they're saying could be the most deadly disease. Why would you not go and get treated?
Yeah, I know.
It's just and early you treat it like any problem. If you've got a problem or an ailment, the earlier you try and deal with it, the easier it is to resolve it. The longer it goes on, it festers and gets worse, the harder it is to fix it.
Yeah.
So if I still find doubts with whatever it is, it's just fucking all rebadged garbage. But even if there is something, why would you wait till somebody's blue and they go into hospital to try to do anything further?
I know.
It's crazy. And these people are public health. Should be fucking shot. It's criminal.
Yeah, true. I mean, I know people that were refused
Sorry
them.
Sorry for swearing.
Oh, that's all right. We're past 9 p.m. I'm sure. Yeah, no, you have to set videos now to whether it's suitable for children or not. And I always just say no, of course it's not. But yeah. I knew someone actually back in last summer, and they were. We needed to ring a paramedic for them basically, but they wouldn't come out until they'd had a test. Nothing to do with any of that, no symptoms or anything. And they wouldn't even send a paramedic out until they'd had results for a test, which is back then. It wasn't any of this rapid flow test. It was the ones where you have to have it collected by a courier, and then it goes to a laboratory, and then about a week, 3 days later, we find out the result. By which time the person has over all the illnesses, Although unfortunately they didn't. They did die within about a month of that actually happening. But
see, that's the other thing that the public weren't watching. Mind back in March last year when Tony Hancock, or whatever his name is, what's his name?
Oh,
Nick
Matt Hancock.
Nick Hancock and Boris both came down with it the same day.
Oh yeah.
And it was a Thursday, and yet Boris was out in the street, and they did all that clapping for the NHS push. So he was out. He's got a video of him outside his front door for 2 minutes clapping away like a zombie, right?
Yeah.
And the next morning at 11 o'clock, he's got a video saying, I developed a persistent cough last night. All right.
Yeah.
And if you've got something wrong with you, what would you do? If you got a phone empty, well, you'd phone your own doctor. No, he phones the chief medical. He phones fucking Chris Whitty.
Yeah, I do remember that.
And then they managed to get him tested during the night to get the result back for him to put a video by 11 o'clock in the morning and say, oh yeah, I've got this. I've got a persistent cough. And here's a 3-minute long video. If he doesn't cough once in it.
Yeah, I do remember those. But it's insane, isn't it?
And that's it. He just found that he's got the most deadly disease ever, and spends 2 seconds speaking about it, and the rest of the time praising the NHS.
Yeah.
How people can't grasp. Just put yourself in the shoes. You've just been diagnosed with something which is partly deadly. Are you going to give a toss about talking about other things? You'd be shitting yourself. Say, oh, fuck, I've picked this thing up. I'm okay.
Yeah.
And it's just.
Didn't he catch it about?
Cannot grasp things that are so staring them in the face.
Yeah, he caught it more than once, though, didn't he, Boris? I think.
What was that?
I think Boris Johnson, he had a second bout of it more recently, I believe.
Second bout of bullshit. I mean, that was the other thing.
Yeah.
I tracked his tweets after he got diagnosed it. And he tweeted away like 7 or 8 times a day. And then he tweeted, when he went into hospital, he tweeted about 2 o'clock in the afternoon or some fish like that, and said, well, I've got to go into hospital for some routine tests, right?
Yeah.
Meanwhile, before that, he said he got rid of his, he said he had persistent, what are the symptoms? Is it headache? No, temperature.
Right.
Persistent cough and temperature. He said his temperature had gone, and then he tweets that I've got to go in for routine tests. The next thing it's on the 6 o'clock news that he's in intensive care. But he's gone in for routine tests, and the news said he still had his symptoms, plural. He
Yeah.
Absolute garbage. I mean, he came out, he recited, he was treated, he had multiple doctors called Nick, OI.
Yeah.
And he reels off all the names of the nurses. And the 2 nurses just happened to be one of these from New Zealand, the one from South Africa, which you could never jet on. And they're getting ready to get a commendation from their trainers, like, what the garbage.
Yeah, it was.
Utter pish from start to end, but you know.
Some people do seem to can't get enough of it, can they?
Yeah.
Unfortunately. Yeah.
That's the thing. I mean, like years ago, I don't know if you've seen, you know the guy, who's the guy that UK Critical Think they're getting interviewed by, and the boy's going to write a book back of
Richard Hall.
Richard Hall, like.
Yeah.
I don't know if you think he did the thing a few years ago where he got a guy who's at the statement analysis, Peter Hyatt, look at the card.
Yeah.
Called the Embedded Confession. If anybody ever wants to watch it, it's really good. Three-part video, 40 minutes long, with a guy who specialises in statement analysis, and he can tell if people are deceitful or lying.
Yeah.
But years ago, I was going to, like, he does courses on statement analysis. It's $600.
Yeah.
And I was going to do a distant learning course on it because I used to do at least a blog a day, did about 50 a month. And so you learn about how you can tell when, like, what people are saying, the words they use and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And how they pad things out. There's a load of flags for if you can tell people are lying.
Mm-hmm.
Or deceitful or not telling the truth. And anyway, I was on the verge years ago, but I study a lot of this stuff. Like, so I'm not saying I'm an expert in it, but even you can see the basic. You know, it's just when you see people getting interviewed, you can tell within 3 seconds whether they're lying or not, just by the grammar they use. Because you've got a 20,000 word vocabulary. Or most the general person does that. Some people are more highly intelligent people do, but you've got 20,000 word vocabulary. In a split second, your mind decides what words you're going to use to speak.
Yeah.
So it's if you're telling the truth, it just naturally flows. It's when if you're lying, you've then got to start thinking about what you're saying because it's not naturally coming to you.
Yeah.
And people do not like lying. So what you'll see is it's like all these in all these events, you get all the witnesses that get interviewed by the media. Yeah, as if that could happen, because that's contempt of court. That's how you know that's a lot of bullshit, because if you're a witness to a crime, you can't go on the TV. The TV can't broadcast it if somebody's been arrested. Simple. Yeah. That's law in just about every country in the world. You see the event. That's why a lot of time the perpetrators are just miraculously kill themselves. If they survive, they're arrested. If you see any eyewitnesses on the TV, you know straight away it's bullshit, because you cannot do that.
Yeah, no, I'm aware of that.
Right? But most of them, if you hear them speaking, they'll say, "Oh, we saw this and we heard this, and we use we." The actual pronoun is I. You can't speak with what other people see. If people use we, use their own pronoun or our, then they're trying to distance themselves from the truth because they don't want to be. Basically, what he calls it is you don't be left alone in telling a lie. You want to try and bring other people into your lie. It makes it easier on yourself internally. But if you're telling a lie, if you then say, "Oh, we did this or we did that," as opposed to "I did it." So you watch these interviews and how just you see straight away, "Oh, we did this," or "We heard that," and "We saw this," and that's straight off. That's people lying.
Yeah. Well, in a lot of those interviews, you've got what appears to be handlers stood next to them, don't you?
Yeah.
Or almost like making sure they don't say the wrong thing or drop a bombshell or something. And quite often also, again, going back to, we mentioned UK Critical Thinker, something I remember he pointed out with the arena interviews that they're constantly putting half the story in their mouth. They tell them half the story for them.
Yeah.
You know, like they suggest things that really, putting words in their mouth, basically. Yeah.
It's like reading the witness because they've not actually said the script. So the people interviewing who know the script half read the script for them. And you saw them do such and such, didn't you? Because they forgot to
I'll tell you a time when that was very apparent was do you remember the Lion of London or the Liar of London? And the amount of stuff that they Millwall fan, wasn't he?
Millwall, right.
Yeah, and actually compared to what they were when he was interviewed on Good Morning Britain, compared to what Piers Morgan said he had done, compared to what you actually heard him himself admit to doing or saying, it was completely like night and day. Yeah, that was Roy Larner, wasn't it?
Yeah, but the thing about that is that Smoking and I were going to do a video about this. I think telling me if we did one of it or not. But if anybody wants to ever go back and try and find the story about him, he claims that he was in the Black Bull. I think it was called the Black Bull. Yeah.
Black and Blue, wasn't it? Black and Blue.
Black and Blue, sorry.
Which he was beating Black and Blue, yeah.
He took on the attacker single-handedly. That's how he got cut to bits.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff Ho is the financial editor of The Independent, who claims to be a budding martial arts guy. I think he's only got a white belt, but anyway, does martial arts. You'll find him writing articles and telling his own story. But he also was in the Black and Blue, and he also took on all three of them.
Okay.
And there's footage of him. Now he apparently got cut right across the throat, allegedly.
Yeah.
And he got led out the place, and there's footage of him. Like, well, you know where the thing is in the what's it called, the grass market. What's the name of the area that they were in?
It was. Well, it wasn't Westminster, was it? It was
something market.
The fish market, wasn't it?
Yeah, but it's on the south side of the river.
Not Billingsgate, was it?
Okay, South Ward or whatever it's called.
Okay.
Anyway, it's on the south side of the river, and that pub is the furthest one away from the bridge.
Okay.
And there's footage of him walking, right?
Yeah.
Not just at the opposite, not just near the bridge, not across the bridge, but about 3/4 of a mile up the road. If you go across the bridge, you go straight. The road splits at the end, and there's footage of him walking along the road, holding himself there. But you then hear all the other of paramedics who saved his life and all this sort of shit.
Yeah.
Well, how the hell was he walking along the road? It's just garbage.
Yeah.
But the two of them, that's the thing. Both of them independently apparently took on the three attackers.
Yeah, yeah, it was a bit unlikely, wasn't it? Although apparently there are more than one Black and Blue restaurant in London now, apparently.
No, there's no doubt for this one, because our hero, Ho, he's already had he'd been drinking with mates watching the Champions League final, as they all do.
Yeah.
And he'd come across the pub on the corner as he walked up to that street there, and the bouncers were taking on some young guys, and he jumped in and helped the bouncers before he got there. This guy's a superhero.
It sounds like it. Was that the one between the two English clubs that night or not?
Yeah, that was, I think it was Real Madrid were playing that night.
Oh, maybe it was, okay.
I think Real Madrid were playing. I can't remember.
Did they beat an English club? Did they beat Tottenham or something? I know it's not relevant. I'm just trying to remember whether there was any English teams involved in that. Or if it took place at Wembley or something. Didn't they, did it?
It might have been at Wembley. That might have been what it was. Or it might have been in Wales even. The Welsh Stadium.
Possibly. Not difficult to look up, is it? I'll check it. 2017, wasn't it? Or 2018?
2017.
Champions League final, yeah? Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm just curious because I know there was some link.
It's funny when you were talking about Avalon, because I remember at the time it was uncanny because I didn't know Avalon that well. That come across this channel.
Yeah.
When Smokey and I were working on the video, I'm not joking, the amount of times we were working on the video and he actually produced exactly the video that we were going to be doing, and vice versa, we did it before him.
Oh, okay.
But he did one on an Aussie guy who was drinking in one of the pubs gave interviews. He said, "Oh yeah, what's the Champions League final?" I came out the door and the guys, the guys were with their knives and all this stuff.
Yeah.
And but he mentioned the pub being drinking in, and I misheard them. So I was searching all over the place trying to find what this guy was saying. Because he said it in Aussie accent, it was Belushi what he said.
Okay.
Anyway, I remember saying smoking, we need to find this pub, trying to check out the story. Anyway, Avalon found it, so Avalon showed where the pub was. The pub was nowhere near where this alleged route that these guys took.
Okay.
He's given interviews saying, "Oh yeah, I came out the pub and the boys were outside," all that stuff. Well, according to the official story, they were nowhere near that pub.
No, yeah. Again, one video I remember Avalon did was about the guy. He was shown like a couple of weeks later where they go back and he was in a wheelchair. I can't remember his name now, but supposedly he broke his leg. Oh, this is on London Bridge, sorry, rather than the London Bridge one. And there was some guy who and his wife or partner had gone over the water. Do you remember the one I mean? Yeah, and the actual event, and yeah, he pointed out that this guy not only happened to be wearing the same jeans and trainers and clothes as he was on the day of the attack, but he was also happened, although he was claiming that he was in a wheelchair with a broken leg because of the attack, he was in the footage. He was shown running off up the bridge when he heard his wife fall.
Right. Yeah, that's right. He's in one video, one walking around, another one running around.
Yeah, that's right.
A couple of days later, he gets wheeled around the wheelchair with the same trainers.
Yeah, Avalon. I mean, and Smoking Mirrors and yourself, did a really good job of dissecting a lot of those events, I would say.
But that's the thing with these things. I mean, if somebody makes up shite, they only go to one layer to try and cover up their shite. You just need to dig down the second layer and you'll find out that it is shite. That's how you. Most people will never even go to the first layer to check things out.
Yeah, that's it.
Just blind or believe what they're told.
Yeah, I do also think they put out an official, conspiracy theory, as it were. I do believe they deliberately put out stories.
Yeah, things that people latch onto, which are shite as well. Yeah,
absolutely. Just to catch anyone that's not buying it. Robert, it's getting a bit late here, but I really appreciate you phoning in for a chat.
Sorry for getting crashing.
Oh no, I was inviting calls this evening, so you absolutely 100% haven't gate crashed, all right?
Okay.
Yeah, no, you're most welcome. Is your channel still going all right?
Yeah, I mean, it's just I've got an idea. I've got an idea of a video I'm going to do.
Yeah.
I'm going to do a video about a novel built for cars and just do a kind of parody on the BS19.
Okay, brilliant. You've got a couple up, haven't you? A couple of channels, sorry, because I was going to put a link to yours if I can find it.
The ones I put up are just things that I can record and say a couple of words these days. I need smoking to do my proper stuff.
I see, but you don't mind me sharing a link to your channels now?
No problem at all.
Okay, I will pop it in there now. Someone in the chat, David, mentioned Beat Worship. Do you remember him?
Yeah, he did excellent stuff.
Yeah, he said a great vid. What Beat Worship showed of people being stretched into the hotel at the end of Westminster Bridge when the hospital was just over the road. Yeah, I remember that.
On the opposite side of the road, I know. It's unbelievable.
Yeah, of course. Right. Robbo.
Cops would look almost like cops that fly in the air, like with the misfitting gear kicking the back.
Yeah. Do you think it's as bad now as it ever was, or as in, I know they've all seemed to have gone away since BS19, haven't they?
Well, I don't know. There was a thing in Plymouth the other week that was BS from start to finish.
Yeah, that's true. They're still out there, but very subtle.
These look deathbed, I think, just to see how gullible the population were, all the way back to 9/11.
Yeah, and before I personally think it goes back further than the 9/11, but
before that's where it really kind of hit it. Was,
that was the biggie, yeah.
Big news all the time, like around the world. Like, and that's where you notice all these even local stories get international coverage.
Yeah.
So a wee incident in Plymouth, like in England, will get international coverage in Australia and elsewhere.
Yeah. Yeah. True.
That's when you know if it's around the world. You think about it, like here where a snake, couple of people got murdered, hardly got beyond the local news.
No, it wouldn't.
You get the national Scottish news, not like the UK news.
Yeah, well, that's it. It is the big giveaway whenever they do ridiculously over the top coverage for it. I am. Yeah, Robert.
I'll let you finish up.
You are welcome anytime. Yeah, I'll do some of these videos again, and I'll keep in touch on Skype. All right.
Aye, definitely.
All right.
So let us on.
Yeah, no, you're more than welcome. Thanks a lot. Okay.
Okay, great stuff. I'll catch you later.
Take care. Cheerio.
Cheers, you too. Cheers.
Yeah, massive thanks to Robbo for joining Open Lines. He caught me on Skype. I am on there. I'm the only Bobby Zones on Skype. If anyone else wishes to say hello to me over on there or whatever. I am going to wind down for this evening. So I would like to say a big thanks to David in the chat, who's come on. David, JT33, Robomax, CC Jelly, Mudlark Digging Up the Thames, Crazy Hippo Lady, and I believe that is everyone who had commented in the live chat tonight. Please, apologies if I've missed anyone. Yeah, big thanks to everyone, and I've left a link to the 2 YouTube channels of Robbo, who's just been chatting to us. I hope you all have a good week. My next live stream should be this coming Sunday evening. Yeah, have a wonderful week. I do not have a video to play out with tonight. As I said, this yeah, I was a bit unprepared for this one tonight. I normally do Sunday. So huge thanks to everyone for tuning in. Special big thanks to everyone who joined in the live chat, and an extra bigger special thanks to Robin Max for joining and giving and calling in. Yeah, that was the purpose of tonight. Like I said, interacting with the viewers, the people that tune in is brilliant, and that's the best thing about a live stream. So to take it one step further and do it with a voice call is brilliant. Okay, I'm going to say goodnight now and end the stream. But thanks to everyone. Oh, hang on. Let me see. Can I just do one thing? Thanks to everyone. Yeah, I've got it on the. There we go. There's my little personalized message on the stream. Yeah, Robert says thanks for having you on. Thank you for coming on. I really appreciate it. Great to finally talk to you, Robert, because yeah, I've seen you in live chats, I've seen your videos for a long time, but I don't think I've ever directly spoken to you. Next time I do one of these open lines, open hours, whatever, yeah, I hope to speak to anyone else that tunes in, even if you haven't got good stuff to say. I don't mind a bit of criticism, hopefully. All right, have a wonderful night, everyone, and thanks for everyone for tuning in. Good night.